Welcome back to part 2 of Bartholomew. What do we know about Bartholomew? Very little. Saint Eusebius, who was the bishop of Caesarea, wrote the first systematic history of the church, and he speaks about a certain Panthenos who found traces of Bartholomew in India. And the tradition has it that he went on to evangelize Greater Armenia, which in those times had a very large expansion. And eventually the king of Armenia was converted, and this resulted in Bartholomew's martyrdom. I'm not sure if you want to hear the details of his very gruesome martyrdom. I'm reluctant to tell you, so close your eyes or plug your ears if you wish. But we can see here in the icon a knife. And very similar to the martyrdom of Isaac Jogues and Jean de Brebeuf, the wonderful North American martyrs and among the native peoples in northern New York State and Canada. He was flayed. He was skinned alive with a flint's knife. You can start imagining where they started doing it if you want to be really gruesome. But what impresses me is that this Bartholomew did not have the strength interiorly to follow Jesus to Calvary. He was around Jerusalem in hiding with the other apostles, these great men Jesus had sent out to evangelize the world. But now he does have the strength, and he gives the ultimate witness to Christ. So we have to then connect the dots. How he got from that first encounter, nothing good can come from Nazareth, declaring that Jesus is truly the Son of God and the King of Israel, failing to be at Calvary after all the miracles in which he had participated as one of the 12. The multiplication of the loaves, he was collecting one of the baskets of leftovers, he was bringing out the bread and the fish, watching the resurrection of the daughter of the son of the widow of Nain. And you can think of any of the other miracles, the raising of Lazarus. And imagine the impact all that had. And yet he was not strong enough for Calvary, but he was strong enough to give the ultimate witness, the growth interiorly. And that invites us to a lot of reflection and inspiration. I would like to connect it particularly with the definition we have of the church in its essential characteristics. The church is one, holy, Catholic, and apostolic. What does it mean the church is apostolic? We dealt with this in the second part of the introduction. 3 features. Built on the witness of the apostles, their teaching, and their successors. And in Bartholomew we see that witness, a consummate witness, an utterly total, heroic witness to Christ. The church is built on the witness of the apostles. The icon also has 2 other features I'd like to note. Like most of the apostles have a scroll in their hand representing the teaching of the apostles. They're bringing the teaching of Christ. They've spent all that time with Christ in the public life. They have watched him teach. They have heard his teaching. They have meditated and pondered it and made it their own. And now they go out to teach the world. And then we see that the icon is predominantly gold. So when painters want to decorate something, they look for colors. They can get it from plants, from minerals and so forth. But pure gold is applied to icons to show that they share in the glory of God. And in that also there's a great teaching. To go from the earthly ambitions of any normal guy to laying down your life completely for Christ and so enter heavenly glory. What a great heritage all those who belong to churches dedicated to St. Bartholomew have. All those children who go to schools dedicated to St. Bartholomew, to live a life of witness. As the most important characteristic, way beyond any sensational actions, solid, integral witness. Let us learn from Bartholomew and come back next session for an introduction to Philip, one also of the 12. Let us continue going out into the deep.